Good morning, class. Welcome to Saint Peter's School. This is your science class, and this is our fifth class. In previous class, we studied what are the classification, what are the types of classification, who all done this classification, and what are the merits and demerits of Whittaker's classification. As we are in the last class, we studied about that the Whittaker's classification has been accepted worldwide, but then also some scientist has found that there is some demerits also in Whittaker's classification. What are the demerits is that the Monera kingdom is not described well, because Monera kingdom is not clear with the points that the specific organism comes under the like heterotrophic or the autotrophic, or the problem was that most of the organism found in Monera kingdoms are not classified well, because might be there are unicellular or multicellular. So it is it protist and there is a problem in a Monera and Protista kingdom, right? There are also some merits there are also some merits like fungi has been separated with the separate kingdoms, and then also by the mode of nutrition, there also they are not clear, they are not clear about the viruses. Okay, so there are some points which Whitaker's has not classified very clearly and not given a point related to the virus, and not cleared the Monera kingdom, who all organism comes under the Monera kingdom. So these all the these all the points comes under the demerits of Whitaker's classification, but then also this classification is accepted worldwide. Okay, so now we have covered up to this topic, that what are the merits and what are the demerits of the Whittaker's classification. Now today we are going to start with the topic, that is classification of microbes. So you come to the page number 3. It has written here, among the living organism, microorganism are the largest in number. Hence they are classified. Why? Like it was larger in number, but it is not easily seen. Okay, so that's why what we have done, we classified those organism for us so that we can study over it. Okay, come to the page number 1, you will see that first of all, when living organism has been divided, it has been divided into two parts, that is prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes come under the unicellular, and it has only one kingdom, that is Monera kingdom, while eukaryotes has been divided into two, unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular consists of Protista kingdom, while multicellular consists of fungi, Plantae, Animalia. So plantain animalia is easily detected by with our eyes, that is plant kingdom, and what is which comes under the animal kingdom, we can easily detect. Plant will come under the plant kingdom, land animal will comes under the animalia kingdom. But we are not able to see this fungi, Protista, Monera kingdom, virus, or algae, or whatever organism we can't see with our naked eyes. These are very small, that it can be seen only under the microscope. So these organisms are considered as a microorganism. So that's why, what are the microorganism, or what are the microbes? Microbes are nothing, it's the organism that are so small that they can only be seen through a microscope, are called the microorganism or the microbes. Okay, why it is known as microbes? Because it is only be seen under the microscope, that's why it is known as the microbes. And the study of microorganism is known as the microbiology. Just for your information, this point is given here. The study of microorganism is known as the microbiology. You have heard about this term, that somebody is doing microbiology. So what is microbiology? It's nothing, it's the study of microorganism. Now, most organisms are hardy and can be found in almost any kind of environment: hot desert, polar ice caps, salt water, marshland, and inside other organisms. Okay, so there are some organisms are so hardy, so tough in structure, so that it can survive in any type of environment, either hot desert or polar ice cap or salt water. But there are few organisms are also like that, which requires a specific environment. But there are some organism are like that, which are very hard and very tough in structure, so that it can adjust in any environment, either hot desert or polar ice caps or salt water. Okay, so now move to the next point. What are the types of microorganism? The types of microorganism are bacteria, algae, fungi, protozoa, and viruses. These all are the types of microorganisms which are detected under the microscope. These organisms are seen under the microscope by our scientists. So we will study by about all the organism one by one. So we will start today. We are going to start with the two organism only, algae and the virus. So their characteristics has been written here about the algae and the virus. So you can look at into your book also, take out page number 4. You will see there the fourth point, it is algae. So let's read the point given in your book only. First of all, algae. What are algae? They are aquatic. Okay, so why they are known as aquatic? Because they requires water to grow. Okay, so that's why it is known as algae. Okay, and that why it is known as the aquatic. Eukaryotic unicellular autotrophic organism. So okay, first of all, don't get confused. Algae, blue-green algae comes under the Monera kingdom, but all not all. But and that blue-green algae is a prokaryotic in nature, while there are some algae like the example is given here, Oscillatoria, nostoc, or Anabina. So in your books also it is given here. You can see chlorella and chlamydomonas. These algae are not comes under the blue green algae. These algae are eukaryotic in nature, and these are, it is written in your book. This is unicellular and this is eukaryotic in nature, and the nutrition nature is autotrophic. So it depends upon, sorry, doesn't depends on others, it prepares their own food. But algae needs water to grow, so that's why it is known as aquatic. Photosynthesis is carried out with the help of chloroplast present in the cell. So very important term, algae has a chloroplast and they can perform photosynthesis. As they have chloroplast, so they can perform photosynthesis, very important point. As well as well the another important point is their example. Chlorella and chlamydomonas is the example of such type of algae which can perform photosynthesis, which is eukaryotic in nature, which is unicellular and autotrophic organism. Okay, why it is autotrophic organism? Because it is performing photosynthesis. So these all are the terms. You can see in a video also it is written there, unicellular, multicellular, eukaryotic. Size is written there. Okay, so 10 micrometer to 100 micrometer. Mode of nutrition is autotrophic. We already studied this. Reproduction, it's not needed here. Okay, we will study it about it in a higher class. Just for the information, it is written here. Reproduction is conjugation and fragmentation. Example is a different example is written here. Oscillatoria, nostoc, and Anabina is also a types of algae which performs photosynthesis. Okay, now come and these all characteristics are seen under a microscope. Okay, so it cannot be, we cannot see with our naked eyes. So this is that's why algae comes under a microorganism. Now come to the next organism, that is virus. Okay, so you can see that point number 5, that viruses is written, their size is approximately 10 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Okay, so generally viruses are not considered as a living organism, or they are said to be organism at the edge of the living and non-living. Now, viruses are some there are some types of virus which becomes living when it comes to into our body, or it when it comes to any living organism body, but outside of our body it becomes dead. So that's why there is a confusion little bit about the viruses to consider as an organism. But then also we consider we are going to study about the viruses in this microorganism region only. Okay, so they are said to be organism at the edge of living and the non-living. They are studied under a microbiology. Though it was studied under a microbiology, we study about the virus under a microbiology. That's why it is considered as a microorganism only. But it is we cannot be sure about this, that the particular virus is microorganism or not. Okay, so first point, viruses are extremely minute. They are 10 to 100 times smaller than bacteria. So assume that how how this small size it has. Like it is smaller than bacteria, it is smaller than algae. Okay, so it's very small in size. The very first point is written here, and you can see on the video also, extremely minute, seen only using an electron microscope. It cannot be seen under a normal microscope. In microscope also there are two kinds of microscope. It's a normal microscope, and second one is electron microscope, that you see a very minute particles. Okay, found in the form of independent particles. They are found in the form of independent particles. Virus is long molecule of DNA, and DNA, and that DNA, the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, or RNA ribonucleic acid. Okay, so where it is found, virus is a long molecule of DNA. Like why it is written like this? It is a long molecule of DNA. It's the structure is in the form of DNA only. Found in, contain DNA and RNA as a genetic material. Okay, so virus has a DNA and RNA. Like we also have a DNA RNA in our body. So in the same way, our virus has also a DNA RNA in their body, which is covered with a protein coat. Okay, now, survive only in living plant or animal cells. As I've already told you in the first line, that's virus. Why virus is confusion? We have a confusion to consider it as an organism, because, like when it is suppose when it is in any living one's body, it will become alive. But when it is outside of our body or someone's living organism body, it considered as a dead. So survive only in a living plant or the animal cell. Now produce their own proteins within the host cell and create the numerous replicas. Okay, so when it enters into someone's body, living organism body, it tries to replicates. Okay, because it has DNA and RNA, and DNA RNA has a nature of replicating. Okay, viruses survive only in living plant or animal cells. And third point, viruses survive only in living plant or the animal cells and produce their own proteins with the help of host cells and create their numerous replica. Then they destroy the host cell and become free. These free viruses again infect new cells. Okay. Now, what happens when it leaves our body? It again comes out of the body, and again it transferred to the, it is now a new cell. Again it will go to the another's body, and again it will start replicating. So viruses cause many disease to the plants and animals. And what is the like virus has one demerit, that it causes disease in plants and animals and human beings, because it easily enters into the living one's body. In the next slide also I have given some point related to the algae and fungi only. Algae are simple plant-like organisms which are usually aquatic in nature. They contain a cell wall and chlorophyll and can make their own food by photosynthesis. As we have already studied that algae is a eukaryotic, and it has a chloroplast also, and so that's why it can consider that it can perform photosynthesis. Algae can be unicellular, multicellular. Some of the common examples are diatoms, chlamydomonas, and seaweed. Okay, so now today what we are going to do, we are going to end our class here only. In next session, class we will again discuss about some points about the viruses too, and discuss about the other microorganism. Till then time, take care and bye bye.